Hello, 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 and welcome, you guys. Okay, so I am Indigo Sage, and for those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, I'm Indigo Sage, and this page is Indigo Sage Tarot. I have a second page that is Indigo Sage Reviews. I haven't been over there in a while, but the content is still good, and I will be returning very soon. On that page, Indigo Sage Reviews, it is just reviews. There's no tarot. I review shows. A lot of them, the bulk of them are Bravo shows, but there are some other things on there. I believe I still have some Love After Lockup over there. There are some movie reviews over there. So go check that out. Again, that is Indigo Sage Reviews. Now, you can find me across social media platforms under the hashtag unapologetically sage, hashtag Indigo Sage Tarot, and hashtag Indigo Sage Reviews. Now, without further ado, okay, let's jump into this one because this one is probably going to be a long one. I asked for their feelings about certain things, and I mean, did spirit spill it? Spirit spilt it through the tarot, okay? So let's go. Okay, you guys, so right here, what you're looking at is Olivia in the blue, looking stunning, and then it says verses, and then there's a picture of Shep. These people are from Southern Charm. Okay, so let me just say real quick, give a short little background in case you're listening and you have no idea who these people are or what Southern Charm is. Southern Charm is a TV show. It's a reality show with some adults. You know, I think it's about four girls, four boys, and they're all friends. Okay, that reminded me of Friends. Okay, anyway, they are in Savannah, and it plays on Bravo. And excuse me, I did do a reading already for Austin and Taylor because Olivia was dating someone named Austin, who's also on the show. Shep was in a relationship and had broke up, but he was in a relationship with someone named Taylor. All right. Now, this is a friend group, okay? Austin and Shep are best buds, and they even call themselves best friends. And Olivia and Taylor were this season anyway, they were calling each other best friends. They hadn't said that before this season. I think they kind of labeled it that for the dramatics of it all. But either way, they was friends. Okay, so it don't matter, best, not best, semi, whatever. Okay, they vacation together. So when you get the vacation in together, you are close to being best friend. Okay, so Austin and Taylor ended up kissing. That's all they saying they did was kiss and discuss whether or not they should be seriously into a relationship. I did a whole reading on that, so go ahead and check that out if you have not already. It reveals a lot because we all wanted to know, did they sleep together? Olivia has said that she believes that they did. She said that that is her gut feeling. I watched her the other day in an interview. It's funny, after I did this reading, I was like, oh, the interview just popped up. So I was like, oh, I might as well look at it. But in the interview, she did tell the person, because everybody's been asking her, and she said, this is just my gut feeling. She said, there is absolutely no proof whatsoever that those two had sexual relations. This is just my gut feeling. So I asked Tarot about it. Did they or didn't they? And that is a very nice reading that you can check out after this one. All right. So let's get started. And just in case you guys were wondering who is Taylor and who is Austin, here they are, okay? And what they did took over this whole entire season of Southern Charm. All right, it was scandalous. All right, it really was, and it was shocking. You know what? Let me take that back a little bit. I was not 100% shocked because in the last season, in my opinion, they kind of, I don't want to say flirted with each other, but it was really awkward because Taylor always referred to Austin as her best friend, and she was real close to Austin, and it was just a little weird to me. I don't know why it stood out. I know that a man and a woman, they can be friends, they can be platonic friends. I have a couple of platonic guy friends, but I keep it at 100. A couple of the majority of my guy friends, it started out as just friends and being platonic, and then eventually they hit on me. The only ones that are still around are the ones that didn't hit on me, okay? So I do know that men and women can just be friends, which is what they were claiming, but hey, you know what I'm saying? They ended up kissing and talking to their families about whether or not they should be in a relationship. And all of that just took over that whole entire Southern Charm season. Now, let me say, I asked Shep I asked Tarot about Shep's feelings towards both of them, and the same thing with Olivia. Okay, their true and real feelings. All right, unmasks. Okay, so not what they're just saying just because it sounds good, but how they really, really feel, whether they really, really want to be back together. You know what I'm saying? Are they really, really happy for them? Are they really, really done with them? Or do they really, really want to be back with them? Do they want a friendship? Do they want a relationship? Do they want romance? What do they want? Do they want nothing? You know what I'm saying? Because all of my exes, I want absolutely nothing. Okay? I wish them well, for real. And not from the pits of hell. Okay? I just wish them well. So, that's what I was getting around to, and that's what I got. Okay? And here's the thing of all of this, because I do tell you guys, you can see it on the thumbnail. One of the decks, I use three of them. One of them is a soul message deck, and that one, it's what I was gonna say. That one's hard hitting. This whole entire reading is hard hitting. Okay, it's deep. It's deep, and there are some parts that are sad, and I guess I'm making a point to say that because this reading touched me in a way like unlike any of my other celebrity tarot readings. Okay, I've been touched before just in other readings that are personal, but as far as celebrity tarot readings, I never really been touched. You know what I'm saying? Because these people be crazy and they be angry, upset, and scheming and scamming and petty and jealous and a little angry and all this kind of little stuff. So it didn't really touch me, but this one did. There are some real and raw emotions here, okay? And I can only imagine this situation has never happened to me. And it's like a double hit, okay? The person you're dating and your best friend, what kind of shiggity shit is that? All right. So before we start, let me just say real quick, the three decks I used is the first one is called the Wild Unknown, and it's clarified by my personal deck, the Ultimate Clarifiers deck. Okay. And then the other deck that I used is the Soul Message deck. All right. And that one brings it right on home. Okay. So stay tuned for it all. If you haven't yet, click like, subscribe, and let's go. So the first deck used is the Wild Unknown, and it is a different take on the Rider Waite. It still has 78 tarot cards, okay? But the Wild Unknown uses a lot of animals in the imagery. And if you've already been here, then you probably have heard me say this many times before. I go a lot on intuition and imagery. That's the reason why I like having numerous decks with different images on it, and I ask Spirit to guide me on the deck to use for the reading that I'm going to be doing. I was guided to use this one. And I'm so glad because this one it's nice, neat, clean lines. They use animals in place of people, and even in their guidebook, they have their own unique um, guide behind the images that we see and behind the meanings of the cards. The basis is still there, as you'll see, but it has its own like twist. So, and it was perfect. It was perfect, okay? So, the question is, how does Shep, and this is in real time, you guys, okay? I'm cutting myself off. I can't stand it when people cut me off and I'm cutting myself off. I did it twice. Okay. Bear with me because like I said, this was very emotional. Um and I did it in real time. This is another reading that like I wanted to specifically point out. This is in real time. Some readings I go retro, I go back in history. How did they feel when, or what were they thinking when, or why did they do this? You know, like all of those are past tense things that are explained. This one specifically, I asked for how they viewed that person as a person, their character, you know, how do they view them in real time? So this is after the reunion. This is after, you know, the season has wrapped. After the reunion. This is like, I did this yesterday. So this is yesterday. Okay. How they feel about them as of yesterday. All right. So, and Spirit told me it didn't change. So as of today, get into it. Okay. Get into it. Um, And as I said, someone wants to stay, someone wants to go. By the end of this reading, you guys will know. All right. So, the way Shep views Taylor is represented by the Father of Pentacles. All right. Gorgeous picture. It's a deer you can see. Um, and just, well, okay. I was just getting ready to dive right on in. Okay, hold on. Let me tell you guys something. Let me set the basis of this card real quick. Um, and it was upright. And again, some are upright, some are not. I'll let you know. But this one, Father of Pentacles, which is they're calling it Father in this deck. That's the King of Pentacles. And then they have mothers, and that's the queens. And then they have sons, that's the knights. And then they have daughters, and those are the pages. So basically, the King of Pentacles. Steady and gentle, almost dull, because of his extremely calm temperament until you get to know him. Underneath is an incredibly passionate man who prioritizes the stability of his job, family, and home. He is a true pleasure to know. Now, also, don't get thrown off by me saying him, because I took these excerpts from the guidebook. And then, in general, when we're talking about a king, they're going to use the male form and speak that way. And then, when we're talking about a queen, they're going to use the woman verbiage, okay? But it's just across the board. And as some of you already know, we all, each of us, okay, have both male and female energies within us. It's important to keep them balanced. Whenever they are out of balance, then we act out of whack. Okay, so we all, each and every one of us, have male and female energies within us. That's the way we were born. Okay, some more than others. Okay, some are out more than others, like, and when I say keep the energy balanced, each of us have our own unique balance, and I'm not going to get deep into that. You know, let me focus. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, each of us have male and female energies. All right, now, let's see. So, looking at the imagery, so first of all, that description was awesome because I can see him visualizing her that way, you know, because they always they play up her Christianity. She's religious, she cherishes home. I know that she did cherish her job because she really didn't want to quit it in order to travel all around the world with him, but she did. But also it says that they're independent. I can see her independence when she came back to town and got a job promoting some kind of liquor product, but she's a salesman for it, and she's kind of out there on her own. When you're a salesman, it's just you. It's pretty much just you. So I can see her independence there, and she wasn't good at it, but it looks like she stuck with it because I believe I saw her she was on Watch What Happens Live a couple of months ago, and she was in pink, and Andy asked her about it, and she's still doing it, and she's doing way better. She was explaining that, you know, the reason why she sucked at it so bad on the show was because that was literally her first time, and she just wasn't prepared to do the pitch, and she said she was nervous because she was doing it for what's her name that does Southern Hospitality, that has all the restaurants. She was doing it for her. She was nervous. Plus the cameras were there. So I can only imagine. But she says she's doing great. Um, and so it says that she's passionate, but she really is calm. I know that she has that calm temperament because we seen that on camera when they were playing that game when they went on vacation at Whitney's friend's house. I can't remember where it was, and they were playing an egg tossing game and they lost, and Shep called her a fucking idiot. Are you fucking stupid, you idiot? Something like that. It was jarring. It was jarring. She remained calm. She didn't get upset until the women gathered around her and told her, "Girl, you need to be upset." Then she got upset. But if you're the person that you love and you're in love with can call you a fucking stupid idiot and all that kind of stuff and you have no reaction, yeah, I'd say she has a calm temperament. Okay. So now let's continue. Okay, you guys. So I wanted to clarify. I love using my Ultimate Clarifiers deck because it's a deck. It has over 100, I think it's 130 cards that I created and channeled I channeled spirit to for me to create the guide and what the images meant. Okay, I created the images and didn't even know uh why I was creating certain images for certain cards and stuff, and I just did it and did it and did it and did it until I got it all out of me. All right, ended up being like 130 cards. And I sent the images off and had my own personal deck created. Okay, yes, you can do that. And channeled my spirit guides for the guidebook. And so what you guys are seeing are the back of my cards, and the reason being is because you don't need to see the front of it. It's not going to make any sense to you. It was created for me, specifically for me to get a deeper meaning behind the reason why these cards came out in order for me to understand more of it and explain it to you. Okay, so here we are. So I asked for that Father of Pentacles to be further broken down, and it will include even more of how Shep feels about Taylor. All right, so the card that came up to clarify that was, the main title of it is At Peace with Working Solo, and it's a solitude card. All right, and it's a card that basically says that someone likes being alone, they're okay with being alone. And usually when this comes up, the reason why it comes up and someone is saying I'm okay with being alone is because either people are viewing them that they're not okay being alone, or they're being something happened and they're constantly being asked, are you okay, are you okay, are you okay? All right, and so this card comes up and says, hey, I'm okay, I like it, like, and that's their honest feeling. However, okay, this card was what? Reversed. So take everything I said and just reverse it. All right. So, um, let's see. So, okay, this card holds the energy of someone being alone or feeling alone even when they're surrounded by people. Okay. So, being in reverse, this tells me that he may have been open with sharing these caring feelings before, but at some point he's decided to lower the volume on that. All right. I saw in social media that she is dating someone. So that may be the reason he is hushing up on his true feelings. He has said he knows he messed up, but I am getting the sense of he's stopped being so open about his feelings for Taylor due to her dating, and not because he knows that he messed up. All right. In other words, if she wasn't dating, he would pursue her in a year or two. And that's what's coming through very strongly. Taylor is the love of his life, according to him, and he doesn't believe that he will ever um, he doesn't believe that he will ever have or find another love like her. Now, I'd like to say that he may not simply because we all have more than one soulmate, and every person is a unique being with experiences and thought processes of their own. So, by way of design, none of us will ever find a love like the last one. The divine plan is to apply the lessons learned and vibe up. Okay, get your vibration up. Okay, trade up. And if you don't, the universe will deliver the same lesson with a higher level of difficulties. Trust me, it's not fun. Okay, I've been there. It feels like bumping your head harder each time until it busts wide open. All right. So, my advice to Shep would be to lean on the lesson in this and move forward in this world with the intention to be less selfish and more attentive to others. Okay. Okay, because basically he is feeling alone because he doesn't have her. Even when he's surrounded, even when he's not alone, even when he has company. Okay, because he did say she comes over and she sees girls at my house, but they're there because of whatever, he had some reason, and she's like, who are all these women? So I don't know how many be hanging out at his house, but we can only imagine. Okay, but even in situations like that, he still feels alone because he doesn't have Taylor. And she was coming over because he was dog sitting her dog, and Whitney told him maybe that's not a good idea. And then, Shep was like, yeah, maybe it's not. You know how Shep get to shaking his knees? If y'all watch the show, he get to shaking his knees when he really thinking. I know somebody like that too. And I had to get used to that. Like when they're thinking about something deep, their knee is a dead giveaway. Anyway, uh, so he hesitated and said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't dog sit. But he liked her having to come over and get her dog. That's what it was. Okay, okay. Let's continue and see how he feels and what his thoughts are on the bromance friendship that used to be so good between him and Austin. Come on, let's go. All right, first things first, what I want to say is it's interesting to me that uh, he views Austin as the lion in the strength card. He viewed, gosh, because this came to me while I was, when I was doing this reading. He views Taylor as the deer. So in nature, doesn't this is the first thing that caught my eye. In nature, don't we all know the lion as being the hunter and the deer being the hunted? So the essence of how Shep views them, and it could just simply be because it's man and woman. I don't know, because he views him as a lion hunting that deer. You get it? Did it click to you? Because it instantly, I was like, ooh, okay. So let's get into this. So it's strength. And as you can see, even though they're still using the lion for their imagery, it's done in a different way. This represents mastery of emotions. That's interesting, right? It's interesting. However, let me tell y'all something. Hit you with the boom boom. This card was in what? Reverse. It was in reverse. But upright, it means the mastery of emotions. In reverse, you're not mastering your emotion. You're not the master of the house or whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got that from Seinfeld. Anyway, and I probably misquoted it. Now, the strength card, this card anyway, shows us it's not the usual devouring side of the lion. Instead, it refers to the much deeper force found within. This lion represents our most patient, composed self. He is the master of focus, compassion, and self-control. When this card shows up, this person is in need of harnessing this power for themselves. Okay, so again, the imagery. Look at it. The lion has a rose in his mouth, which is kin to a man trying to romance a woman, and he has the infinity sign drawn on his forehead, which symbolizes infinity. as if he leads women to believe they will be together forever. Okay? This looks like even though this card, it represents your, harnessing your inner power and your most patient and composed self with focus, compassion, and self control. Self control. This card represents self control, the inner power for self control. And Shep views Austin this way, but in reverse, which means that he lacked self control, which he did when it came to, and I don't know if he lacked self control across the board, but when it came to him and Taylor, he lacked self control. And what was interesting to me is when I did this, these cards were okay, so this came up in reverse. This one came up in reverse for Austin, and Taylor's came up upright, but Spirit made it very clear to me that, and as we seen in the show, that Austin makes it very clear to all of them and to Shep that Taylor came on to him, and Shep was like, really? Because I thought it was the other way around. I thought you came on to her. And Shep was like, no, she came on to me, she kissed me, she grabbed me and did a full-on kiss, and then he demonstrated on Whitney, which was hilarious. And unexpected, which is what made it hilarious. He did a full-on kiss with Whitney and said, this is what she did to me. He said, Whitney is me, I'm Taylor. And he grabbed his face and brought his face. They had one face for a second. They just had one face. I was like, whoa, okay, you know what I'm saying? He man enough to do it. He man enough to kiss another man, and it don't mean nothing. But the point is that her card was upright, his was in reverse, but sometimes in his mind, like his original mind, this one was upright, and hers was in reverse. She was weak, and he was strong. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, let's continue because this is clarified. So this was interesting to me because the clarifier says wanting long distance communication. All right. And what that card means is there is a physical or emotional distance between you two, or it's both. It's both physical and emotional. Someone is longing to close the gap, but for some reason, these feelings may be hidden. Now, this card came up in reverse as well. And I am thinking and feeling like Shep would love for there to be physical distance between him and Austin. It's like sometimes he doesn't want to see him. When he has to see him, he doesn't want to see him. That's what Spirit is giving me. And what's sad is because the reason why he doesn't want to see him sometimes when he sees him, and when I say sees him, like they have common friends. So I'm sure they're both invited to the same places. They live in the same town. So when they're out and about, they may even run into each other. But definitely it's the circle that they run in. So he has to see him sometimes when he doesn't want to see him. And the reason why though, and it's not because he hates him. So let me make that clear. He doesn't hate him. The reason why is because Shep continues to put up a front that Austin's feelings, that he's over the hurt. So first he was acting like he wasn't hurt, but somewhere or another, Spirit is letting me know that that has been acknowledged and talked about or whatever, maybe off camera. But he can't, he's still hurt, but he doesn't want to let them know, hey, I'm still in pain and I really don't want to fuck with you right now. I'm still hurt. The same way that my Bravo heads will know, the same way that Garcelle let the women know on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that she still was a little bothered by how they treated her son, but she will get over it. She accepts their apology, but she's still upset. And then Dorit tried to tell her, it's been a year now, you shouldn't be upset no more. And then Garcelle was like, you ain't in control of how long I can be upset when you have upset me, which is true. No one, we can't tell people get over it. If their feelings are hurt or if they're upset, we can't tell them, okay, you got 2 months. You know what I'm saying? You got exactly 60 days to not be upset no more. And then we gotta just, of course people have to move on and move forward in life. You can't be stagnant. That's toxic. That's dangerous. However, you can still be processing your feelings. We all have a right to feel how we feel. And it becomes toxic when people begin to tell us how we feel or tell us we can't feel how we feel. That is BS. All right. And it creates things like this. He is still hurt, but he doesn't feel like he can express, I'm actually still hurt and I want distance from you. And even if they did have distance, he still wants some. He still wants some, and he has a right for that. He has a right to do that. So let's go ahead and check out Olivia. All right, so we have Olivia and what her view in real time is for Austin. Okay, and it's represented by the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands represents strength, stamina, confidence. And the 9 usually implies that your journey is near completion, but on this final stretch, you find yourself growing weary. Doubt and fear are running through your mind. The Nine of Wands asks you to rally your confidence and realize how far you've come. Lift your eyes and take a few more steps. Soon, all your hard work will start to pay off. This card actually made me very sad because, and you know what, Shep's cards made me sad too, but not extremely sad, because the thing is, he's hiding his emotions for both Taylor and Austin. He doesn't want to see Austin, but he has to see Austin. And the reason why he doesn't want to see Austin is because his feelings are still hurt, but he's acting like he's a dude. He's trying to man up and act like his feelings ain't hurt. So I'm not sad about that. Well, I am, but it's like you have control over that. You know what I'm saying? And then with Taylor, he'd like for them to just take a little time apart, and he'd like for them to get back together. But he's hushing up on that, I believe, because she's dating someone right now, to my understanding. So anyway, so back to Olivia. Olivia's actually made me sad because this Nine of Wands is saying that, she was in it. She was climbing them steps. She was working hard. She was fighting all of the doubt and the fear that was running through her mind as it related to whether or not he's ever actually going to commit. Because the thing about it is, he was letting her know in previous seasons that he really cared about her. He did want to be with her, but right now was just not a good time for him. So he kind of put her on the back burner and made her wait with like a kind of a tentative promise of, it's like someone giving you a promise ring that one day something would happen, even though there never was a ring. He didn't give her a promise ring, but it was like a verbal promise ring. And so she just like stood around just waiting, trying to have faith in that one day they are going to be together, and she had to ask herself, is he worth waiting for? And apparently she told herself, yeah, because she was waiting. So, like I said, this card, the way she views him, oh my God, like this was all her, the waiting and the time, basically like time wasted, and all of the stress and turmoil that she went through in her mind. You know what I'm saying? It kind of was like for nothing, wasted time. And I really don't ever like to, and any therapist will tell you, don't ever say that you wasted time. Like, you don't look at it like that. You look at it like it's a lesson you learned. And that is true. Now, that is true. That is true. Because going forward, baby, Olivia ain't gonna let this happen to her again. She ain't gonna let this happen again, okay? I can tell you that right now. She is not going to let this happen again to her. So she did learn that lesson. Now, um, the card made me sad, like I said, until I saw that it was in reverse, which lets us know this she done with this shit. This shows us why she hung in there for so long. Austin said, and we seen a bit of Olivia going back and forth and sending Austin mixed signals, one day hanging out on his couch, and I'm talking about in this season. Okay, she did send him a little bit of mixed signals because at first she came in strong with, we're not together, and she was dating Rob or Ravi. And then, so she was sending mixed signals because one day she's hanging out with him on his couch, Netflix and chilling, while throwing her bra across the room, only to cuss him out the next day. Okay, she had real feelings for him and kept thinking he would see the light and become an unselfish, apologetic, and devoted boyfriend who has been sprinkled, okay, sprinkled with mature man pixie dust. Well, that didn't happen because that pixie dust doesn't exist. But in all fairness, he led her on when he confided in her that he was going to therapy to fix himself, while purposefully going around telling everyone who would listen that his true love is Olivia. And we know he was counting on that being repeated to Olivia. Austin led Olivia on in the worst way. And it's nothing like being made to look like a fool on national television that will make you see the damn light with the power of 10 police flashlights in your face. Okay? Don't ask me how I know how powerful a police flashlight is in your face, but it is. All right? So here we go. Let's clarify this. All right, so this is clarified by a card from my deck that says, make peace with your parents. This card can indicate there's a major communication issue between you and your parents. So now, Olivia, this card means, what it means is, because I know you might be wondering, what in the world does making peace with your parents have to do with him? I'm going to tell you, hold on. Olivia has decided to remove what no longer serves her and prioritize the important people in her life. Olivia has said several times that following her brother's passing, the way her mother, father, and herself grieve has been completely different. Her mother spends a lot of time in his room. Her father doesn't talk about it at all. And Olivia is trying to find a support system to lean on. She's spoken before about wanting to be there to support her parents in their grief, but she doesn't know how, and feeling helpless brings stress to her. So it's clear why she made the self-preserving decision to kick Austin from her list of hopes and what? Dreams. Okay, he is off the list of her hopes and dreams, and she is moving forward. And she's prioritizing her parents. That's why this card came up as clarification, because she wasted. And when we go back to wasting time, this card was her. It represents her feeling like she wasted so much time, and she's just not going to do it anymore. And as we know, life is short. She realizes that with her brother's passing. She's let go of things and prioritized things. She let go of what doesn't serve her. He doesn't serve her. She wasted time. She's not going to do it anymore. Her parents, and helping them in any way possible get through their grief, is more important to her, which is why the parents card clarified that. Let's go and see how she really feel about the homegirl, Taylor. Let's go. All right. And it's funny, I'm getting ready to point out what both of these cards have in common. This is the Three of Pentacles, is the card that represents how Olivia feels about Taylor. And we can look at that imagery and see a mountain. What you got to do with a mountain? Climb it. And it's funny how, to me, and that is in the distance. The mountain is in the distance. And I'm getting ready to connect all of this. Her card with Austin was stairs. Okay, it was the Nine of Wands, but their imagery was stairs that had to be climbed. The imagery with Taylor is a mountain in the distance that has to be climbed. Okay, so that ain't no coincidence. Um, so her view of Taylor is Three of Pentacles, and it means teamwork, determination, and focus. I've always known the Three of Pentacles, it's a teamwork where people collaboration, teamwork, support. You're together in this. There's people working for the same goal, working hard and contributing their work to accomplish one goal. All right, that's what the Three of Pentacles normally means. The task ahead is a momentous one. It is usually it's usually related to your job. All right. And if you think about it, they both do have one job in common, which is being a cast member on this show. So it is related to the job. This card suggests you must focus all of your efforts as discipline, strategy, and hard work are needed more than ever. If you become overwhelmed, rely on those around you. This is a card of teamwork, so you may need the strength of others to conquer the mountain. That mountain is Austin. The relying on others is Taylor. Taylor was a good friend of hers. Okay? So that is why this card did not show up upright. It showed up what? In reverse. Let's say it together. What? In reverse. Because she thought that she was a good teammate and that she could rely on her and get support, because it was hard climbing that mountain. That mountain is Austin, okay? Just like them stairs. That's why it's back in the distance. But what's in the forefront is the Three of Pentacles, which means teamwork, and you can get support from someone else. She was getting support from Taylor and thought and felt that Taylor was giving her support, because one of the reasons why Olivia is so upset and bothered and hurt is because she said while she was going through all of that stuff with Austin, and especially she said the reunion was hard on her, not this one, the one before. She said she was telling her, well, he loves you, hang in there, you guys can make it work, y'all just need some time. When literally, now this was said, Olivia said that Taylor was comforting her after that reunion, but Olivia, for whatever reason, she had to travel back to LA. She was in LA for 3 days. And that is the first time that Taylor and Austin hooked up. And so Olivia told her one time, she said, simultaneously, while you were telling me that he loves me and I need to hang in there, you, like an hour later, went and hooked up with him? Now that's a cold piece of what? Work. Let's continue. That's a cold piece of work. Let's continue. And we're going to clarify this one as well. All right. So it is clarified by the Ultimate Clarifiers deck card that says your best bet for a long, vibrant future begins with home. Okay. So it says you need to do a reset by going home to your family, possibly making amends while hearing others out and accepting genuine family love. I believe this card is a further extension of the card that clarified her view of Austin, which was make peace with your parents. She has again decided for her well-being that she will let go of what doesn't serve her, because there are more important things in life, and life is short. Period. Okay, you guys, thank you for listening, and we are halfway through. All right. If you think that first half was something, buckle up, buckle your second seatbelt, okay? Because I'm gonna hit you with the boom bam, all right? Coming right up. But first, I would like to ask you to please click like, all right? Because if you've listened this long, you like it. Go ahead and click like. Thank you so much. It helps me get into the algorithm. Although this is just a hobby of mine, but let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's spread the love. Spread the love. Click like, and that's how you spread the love for free. Doesn't cost you anything. If you have not yet, please subscribe, okay? Because, hey, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be doing this. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, feel free at any time to drop down in the comments and give me suggestions of who you want me to do a reading on and the question that you want me to ask, okay? What it is that you want to find out. So feel free. I will interact with you guys all day, every day. All right. So again, let's continue. Okay. So all of my sages already know that I love a good energy card. Okay. Everything is about energy. All right. Your vibrational energy. Is it high? Is it low? What is it today? Let's go. Now, the energy, the overall energy, and it's funny because the energy for these two, um, it is the Tower card. And what's funny about it is because I was thinking, oh, yeah, that makes sense for these two, but Spirit let me know the Tower is the card, like, for all of them, all four of them, and probably reverberation is probably vibrating throughout the entire clique, the entire group. The Tower is their energy, and and also the energy. Let me say, you tell you guys the reason why I always read and include the energy card, and I say the same thing over and over, so I'm going to say it real quick. It's because the energy is like the roots of a tree. You can't have anything without the root. So the energy card is what brought on all of the other previous cards that I just broke down. This is what was the root of it. This is what caused it. This is where they came from. Okay, this is why they be. Okay, they be what they be. All right. So just like a tree has roots. You can't get the bark of the tree, the flowers of the tree, the leaves of the tree, the branches. You can't have any of that. The fruit, you can't have any of that without roots. So the energy influence card is the root of the reading. Now, their energy card, the root of the reading, is represented by the Tower. All right. And the Tower represents an unexpected upheaval. When the Tower card appears, it's time to brace yourself for a change. The well-rooted tree that has been growing strong for decades is crashing down around you. Your world may feel as though it's literally falling apart, and you didn't see it coming. Even though this phase is painful and confusing, it will be over soon. You look back and feel grateful things changed course. You might even see it as a personal breakthrough in the end. Okay? Because I really feel that that's what happened with Olivia. We can see breakthroughs breaking through for both of them. With Shep, the universe is trying to desperately elevate his vibrational energy by giving him a very public lesson to learn, as he will forever be held accountable by complete strangers who he couldn't give a rat's ass about, but because they've watched Southern Charm, the stranger feels entitled to police his actions with all future women. Okay, good luck with that. As with Olivia, she has clearly left the lying losers, ditched the delusional deceivers, and leveled up. Okay, she leveled up when she chose her family and tuned out the background noise. So the Tower energy card, energy influence, was for both and then for all, but individually, okay, they're clarifiers for the root of their feelings. Their cards was clarified by the Ultimate Clarifiers deck, and it For Shep, it had an image. It didn't have any words. It was just like an image of a woman, basically sleeping well, with a cuddly bear, just having a good night's rest. And the card is meant to express that, like, there hasn't been like a good night's rest like in a while, probably. This is after some kind of event, some kind of issue, some kind of misunderstanding, some kind of mess, that to where maybe the person could not sleep well at night until like now. Okay, so getting a good night's rest, sleeping well at night, has significance in that way. So it indicates that Shep is sleeping better at night, but not quite back at 100% because he still goes to bed with some aspects of the situation on his mind. Not every night, but some nights he reflects as if he's missing a puzzle piece that he must put together, as if he's in Vegas and everything's riding on it. Okay, he'll sleep better when he stops focusing on figuring it out and just allowing himself to receive the signs that are right in front of him. So the reason why he's sleeping better, but it indicates not quite 100%, is because the card was in reverse. All right, but it still means he's sleeping better. He's sleeping way better than when he first found out. Okay, and it's as if he's almost there, but not quite, because it was in reverse, so not quite, just almost. But he's trying to figure out what he feels like is a puzzle, like he's missing a piece, and that is the part. And maybe he's trying to figure out that timeline, because everybody keeps talking about that timeline, because their timeline is messed up. Okay, their timeline is not right, and which means that they're lying, which is the reason why I'm sure that, like, I didn't hear her say it, but that's probably the reason why some people, and Olivia is the main one, thinks that they slept together, because they're lying still. And if they would stop, and I think Shep said if they would stop lying, it would be all good. Like, everybody's saying, if y'all would just stop lying, and they be like, we're not lying. But the thing is, when you're integrated separately, okay, in the same manner that police be doing, Taylor's timeline is different from Austin's timeline. And of course, these people get together and talk, and they're like, well, Taylor said this, or Austin said this. They're lying. Boom. Y'all lying. Boom. So with everyone knowing that you guys hooked up, kissed, and discussed whether or not y'all should have a serious relationship, slap in the face of everybody. But you guys already said that. So what is the reason to keep lying? So what a lot of them have concluded, the reason why you keep lying about this is because you had sex, and y'all trying not to tell us that y'all had sex. Okay, they think that they had sex. All right, and if you want to know whether or not they had sex, bumping uglies, whatever, then go check out my reading on did they or didn't they, okay? But in the meantime, stay here and find out what clarifies Olivia's energy influence. The energy influence clarifier for Olivia is much more simple. It indicates that she has a mantra that says, time heals all wounds. She knows that with each day that passes, she's that much closer to healing completely. Okay? There it is there. And now, okay, introducing what the soul messages. All right? Specifically for them. Let's go. Okay, now from my soul message deck is Shep to Taylor. All right? His soul message to her. This is from his heart of hearts. It is, take a leap of faith into the unknown. My initial thoughts on this card made me laugh a little, because I thought Shep was telling Taylor to throw her sex to someone unknown by the group first, with someone, outside of the group, because as we know it, she has been with, well, she's tossed her availability around the group, from Shep to Austin, from Austin to Whitney, from Whitney back to Shep, from Shep back to Austin, to make Shep jealous one night, all the while performing a flirty dance around JT that consists of fake laughs, walks along the beach, and allowing him to spit his regurgitated tequila in her mouth. Disgusting. That was disgusting, okay? However, Spirit has joined the chat to clarify that the message on the surface is that, but what his soul is saying to her soul, okay, is take a leap of faith and give me a second chance. The unknown for her is whether or not Shep will carelessly hurt her again, but he is asking her to trust that he won't. Get into it. Get all the way into it. When the earlier cards indicated what I'm getting ready to say. But when I saw this card, I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. After it set in, because like I said, the first initial thing was, you know, when it said take a leap of faith and go with the unknown, because she's sitting up there flirting and trying to be with everybody who she just that's just in that group because she's comfortable with them. But so this is a two-tiered layered, message. Um, yes, it would be best for her to date someone outside of the group, to which, like I said earlier, I hear that currently in real time that she is. But at the same time, what he really means, okay? Because Shep is putting on like a front in a way because of, I hate to use this word, but like that male, what is it called? Male toxicity or whatever? When you have to be like a tough guy and so you act like you don't feel when really inside you're a marshmallow. Like, it's so weird to me. But again, like, I'm not a man, so I don't have toxic, that's what they call it, toxic masculinity. I don't have it, and I don't deal with it. The people, I've only had like one or two guys come in my life with that toxic shit, and abort, abort, abort. All of my senses always say abort to any toxicism. I can't. I don't. I cannot. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, there's different levels to it because Shep has it, but not on the level where I had to kick people out of my life. So now I'm learning that there's different levels to this toxic masculinity. His level is milder only because it's not in the aggressive form, outward aggressively. What it is that I'm seeing and that I'm referring to is him feeling like he would be less of a man if he told everybody how he really feels. He's trying to hide the fact that he wants to still be with her, but only because I believe, and I'm sticking to this, only because I believe she's dating someone right now. Like, there's something there, but he wants to be with her, and he has said on in some interviews that she is the love of his life. Okay, and like I said earlier, he feels like he will never find anyone like her. Um, you know, okay, and I explained that earlier, but he's so I mean, like I said, in his head overall, what I believe, you guys, is that he feels like he's going to revisit this in a year or two, in 1 or 2 years. And it's a struggle for him to give her this space. He is shaking in his boots because he does know what he did was wrong and how he treated her, and he is trying to work on, but tiny, let me say this, tiny steps of him working on it. But he wants to be a different and better man when he comes back with Taylor. But what he's shaking in his boots about is giving her this time and space that she needs to heal and become a better person. He's afraid that she's no longer going to be interested. Okay, 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 okay. That's the facts. Now, that's the facts now. And the thing about it is, that is a real thing to be afraid of, because when people grow, because this is a lesson for her too. I know I spoke about this has been a lesson for him, and the universe has given him a lesson to be a better person. Also for her, because if you go back to my reading I did on her in Austin, she likes toxicity. She needs to get the hell out of that. But a lot of times, more often than not, when people when they begin to work on themselves and begin to heal their childhood wounds and go to therapy, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Shouts out to therapy. Um, and then they step out into the world as this new, healed, better version of themselves, 99% chances, no, they're not going backwards to what was once toxic in their life. So his fear of giving her all this space, it's real. I mean, I understand it. Like, I don't understand it as if I've been in it, but, because when I'm done, I'm done. But my vibrational energy is vibrating on a very high level. So, we all can't, which all my friends admire me for this, and my exes be upset about this. When I say I'm done, I'm done. And I mean it, and I do it, and I don't go back. And it's because of everything I'm just now saying. Like, you elevate yourself, you vibrate on a higher level, so you not high vibrational energy should not go and hook up with low vibrational energy. You just shouldn't. That's counterproductive. Let's move on. Okay, right here. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I felt like Shep was being shady. I when I saw this, I felt like Shep was being shady. I really did. But let me tell you why. Let me dive into it. Um, because I know that you guys can't see it very, very well. Um, because of all this little fancy cursive that this card used, but this is just the realness of my readings. I am showing you the card. Nothing I can do about it. This is how they printed it on the card. This is the card that came up. Let's go. Shep's soul message to Austin. It says, you are on your way to meeting your true love. Isn't that sweet? Clearly, Shep wants Austin to stay away from his true love, which is Taylor. So he wants to instill confidence in Austin that he will be in love with his own woman one day. His own woman, okay? From what I hear in social media, Austin has a girlfriend currently, which is probably why this card actually showed up in what? Reverse. Showed up in reverse. This reading is for this present time frame. With that being said, Austin has probably been happily parading his new girlfriend around them, and they're probably laughing and giggling and feeding each other, calling each other pet names like snoogly poops, all in Shep's face. And instead of it making Shep want to throw up, he's secretly despising Austin for the simple fact that if it weren't for Austin's interference, Shep feels he could have been called snoogly poops by Taylor right now instead of feeling alone in a crowd. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, Olivia's soul message to Austin is never give up on something you really want. This message is her letting him know that she feels that he never really wanted to be with her, and she accepts that and is ready to move on. Okay? Because the bottom line is, the way she feels is, if he really wanted to be with her, he would have been with her. Point blank and what? Period. Point blank and period. Okay? Okay. Like, for real. That's the truth, and I can't say it any simpler and plain than that. And that is, she and what's also tucked into this little old message too is her wishing him well. Okay? Telling him never give up on something you really want. All right? Wishing you the best because you're not going to have me. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. In Nene Leak's voice when she told Sheree they're done. They're done about her teeth. Anyway, when she said, I'm rich. Okay, Trump, check, rich. Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm into Bravo like that. Okay, I'll quote a Bravo saying in a minute. All right. So anyway, let's move on to what she has to say to Taylor. All right. So her Olivia's soul message to Taylor says, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Boom. Okay. And I do. I feel like some shade was thrown in there. This message is her letting Taylor know that she leaned on her for support when she was emotionally conflicted by the complicated, non-committal status of her and Austin. And she wants Taylor to know that while she acted like she was there to support her, Olivia feels like Taylor was faking the whole time. Okay? So Olivia is telling Taylor to be a real friend to someone one day because she feels she was a fake friend to her. This message made me laugh, okay, just a little. Made me laugh because it has such a sarcastic tone in it, coming from Olivia to Taylor. But overall, I completely understand Olivia's sentiment. I really do. I really do. Because and then there's another layer to it because she says, be the rainbow to, what does it say? To someone else's cloud, which that someone else's cloud, someone else's is saying, get the fuck up out of your cloud. You're always in a cloud. You're always the victim. You're always sad. It's always, oh my gosh, they're doing this to me. They're doing this to me. What can I do? Oh my gosh, I'm the victim, victim, victim. And I talked about Taylor being the victim in the other reading too. So, and I know I keep referring to it because I did. I broke down um just like this is a breakdown, I broke down her and Austin. So, and whether they did or didn't they. Okay, you're going to have to find out what Tarot said about that. Um, but anyway, over there, I talk about how she likes being the victim, which is being in her own cloud. So, Olivia's message of in someone else's cloud is shade because it's like, get up out of yours. You live in yours. Get up out of yours and actually get up out of yourself and actually, and both Austin and Taylor were being selfish when they hooked up. They didn't think about anyone else except themselves, period. Um, and some people may feel like Shep deserves it because he's very selfish as well. That's debatable because I don't think anybody deserves to be hurt. And what I will say is hurt people hurt people. Okay. I've had to say that when I've been hurt and I've been told by my friends who have seen me in a relationship for years and they, you know, end up doing me terribly, terribly wrong. And I'm hurt. And my friends are there. Some of my friends are the types that say, this is what we're going to do to get them back, and what my response has been is no, we're not going to do anything. Hurt people, and at first they be rolling their eyes like, girl, come on. Like, I already got the mask, I got the gloves. No. And I'm like, no, hurt people, and they get irritated with me for taking the high road so much sometimes. But then, as the universe does, and, things come full circle, they may be in a situation and then they have a new understanding of what I'm saying when you don't necessarily really want to attack that person because hurt people hurt people. Like they've already got it. Whatever it is that they need from the universe is going to make it even. Okay? Let me put it like that. The universe will make it even. You don't have to do anything. And just remember, you know, for the most part, in most situations, don't take it personal, and hurt people. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that I'm 100% innocent when it comes to the revenge game. However, what I'm talking about is my higher level self, my higher self. When I vibe on a high vibrations, I'm good. I let the universe take care of everything because what is meant will be meant. And what God has planned for you, nobody can take away from you. You just need patience and all of that. So, Olivia seems to be the one who's on the good path of healing. Okay, she still has her sarcastic digs at both of them, actually. Um, but she's a little more soft on Austin with her, never give up on something you really want, because that was actually like a parting advice for him for future. Like she kind of wish him Bill. I mean, Bill. She kind of wishes him well, but maybe that was for me to say ring that bell, click like. I said wish him Bill. Ring that bell, click like. But anyway, she wishes, it's like she doesn't want to be back with him, but she wishes Austin well, and then kind of wishes Taylor to go to where? Hell. She kind of wished Taylor to go to hell. So I don't know, because hers be the rainbow in someone else's cloud. Like she is more upset with Taylor than Austin, and I think the reason why is because Austin kind of was just an asshole, like for the most part, in her face. And when she wanted to be in a relationship, he honestly told her no. And then on top of that, you have Taylor telling her to be with Austin, but at the same time making out with Austin. And then on top of that, another layer is that it's been said that she came on to Austin. So that may be the reason why she despises Taylor more than she does Austin. And it is believable that Taylor came on to Austin for two reasons that they aired on this season. One is she sent Whitney naked photos of herself, which had everyone asking if they hooked up. Both of them said no. And then we see her flirting with JT. All right. And then all three of them admitted and told the same story, pretty much, Austin, Shep, and Taylor, that Taylor wanted to be with Shep one night, called for a booty call. Shep said no. So then she said, oh, well, I'm going to go with Austin, who's a real man. And so then she texted and contacted, called Austin. Austin said, yeah, I'm hanging out. You can come hang out here with us. It was him and Whitney. She came and hung out with him, and they did go back to his house. Okay, because then they asked, okay, so because Austin left the story at, she came to the bar where me and Whitney was at. It was both me and Whitney. Then somebody smart enough, probably Madison, because she loved to stir that pot. She loved to stir that pot. Okay, while her husband want to stir her pot and get her pregnant. Okay, that's what she need to be worried about, man. But she's stirring that pot. Girl, she's stirring that pot. Okay, Madison is stirring that pot. So it probably was Madison, and if it wasn't, oh well. But somebody said, and then what'd you do after that? Yeah, okay, she came to the bar with you and Whitney. What'd you do after that? And then I think he was stuttering, and then she said, well, did y'all go back to your house? And so he was like, yeah, we went back to my house. Did anything happen? And he said, no. Okay. Now, I don't know who that was, if that was Madison for sure, But whoever it was, they got right down to the business. They stand on business. Fuck all of this. So the point is that it is very much believable that Taylor hit on Austin. And so from Olivia's point of view, yeah, she despises her more. Yeah, she does. Okay. Okay. Drop down in the comments and be sure to let me know. Number one, what do you think of this reading? What are your opinions on their true feelings and their soul messages to them? Were they soft? Were they too hard? Do they need to move on? Does Shep need to move on? Like, or do you guys actually think that Shep and Taylor would be good in about a year or two or three? Let me know. Okay, I'm all ears. Also, number two, go ahead and drop down in the comments and let me know if you want me to do tarot on any celebrity. And it doesn't have to be a Bravo celebrity. It doesn't have to be a housewife. It doesn't have to be any of that. So just go ahead, drop me a line. Be sure to click like. All right. And I'm out.